Long ago, in the land of Israel, there lived a young shepherd boy named David. He was the youngest of 8 brothers. While his older brothers were strong soldiers in King Saul's army, David spent his days in the quiet fields, caring for his father's sheep. David loved the hills, the rustle of the wind, the bleating of sheep, and the songs he sang to God while playing his harp. Every morning and night he prayed and trusted the Lord with all his heart. But far away, trouble was brewing. The Philistine army, Israel's greatest enemy, had marched into the land. Among them was a warrior so terrifying that all of Israel trembled, a giant named Goliath. Goliath stood over 9 feet tall, covered in shining bronze armor that glimmered under the sun. Every day, for 40 days, Goliath mocked Israel. And every day, Israel's soldiers trembled with fear. Even King Saul, their mighty leader, had no answer. No one dared to face the giant. Back at home, David didn't know what was happening, until one day his father Jesse said, "David, take this food to your brothers at the battlefield." So David packed bread, cheese, and grain and set off early the next morning. When David arrived at the camp, he could hear shouting before he even saw the battle lines. The soldiers were nervous, whispering about the giant who challenged them. David ran to his brothers, eager to see them, but then he heard Goliath's booming voice echo across the valley. David's eyes widened. He couldn't believe it. He looked at the soldiers trembling and asked, "Why isn't anyone going out to fight him?" The Israelite soldiers laughed at David, amused and doubtful that a young shepherd could challenge a giant. Even his oldest brother Eliab scolded him. But David answered, "I'm not afraid. God helped me protect my sheep from lions and bears. He'll help me defeat this giant too." Word reached King Saul, who called David to his tent. Saul looked into the young boy's eyes and saw faith. Finally, he nodded. He tried to give David his royal armor, heavy metal plates, and a huge sword, but David smiled. "I can't wear this. I'll fight the way I know how." The crowd went silent as the small shepherd boy faced the massive giant. Goliath laughed loudly, but David stood firm. The ground trembled as Goliath approached, towering over him, but David stood firm. He declared, "The battle belongs to the Lord." Then he placed a stone in his sling, swung it with all his might, and released it. The stone flew through the air and struck the giant right in the forehead. Goliath stumbled and fell face down to the ground. The impossible had happened. The shepherd boy had defeated the mighty warrior. King Saul watched in amazement. The Philistines gasped. The Philistines gasped in disbelief. The Israelites erupted in joy and praise. King Saul watched in amazement as David stood over the fallen giant, giving glory to God. David lifted his eyes toward heaven, knowing exactly who had given him strength, the living God of Israel.